Buonasera a tutti, come state? Bene? Sì? Spero di sì, I hope so. Io sto bene, sì. This evening I'm well, thank you. Allora, che faccio stasera? What am I doing this evening? Stasera faccio un video della settimana 3, okay, del mio corso di italiano per principianti. So this is the video for week 3 of my Italian course for beginners. So where are you going to start? Dove cominciamo? Where? Ok, facciamo così. Let's do this. Cominciamo con I colori, colors. Okay, so let's see what you remember from the class. Che colore è questo? Questo è rosso, rosso, red, rosso. Che colore è questo? Questo è blu, sì, blu. Very easy, molto facile. Oops, sorry about that. Just turn the sound off there. Scusatemi. Ok, va bene, sì, ok. Perché non funziona? Why is it not working? Allora va bene, that's better. Dunque, rosso e blu, rosso, blu. Anche questo è rosso. This is also red. Questo è verde, verde, verde like the word verdant, like nice beautiful lush green, verde. Pasta verde, rosso, verde, blu. Che colore è questo? Sì, questo è nero, nero, black. You get my other things that are nice colours for you. So we've got this and this and this. Questo è giallo. Giallo è nero. Sì, giallo, yellow. Viola. Questo è viola. Think of violet. In fact, it does mean violet. Similarly, questo è rosa. Rosa, pink. Rosa significa anche rose in italiano. So, viola e rosa, these are colours that are named after flowers. Violet and rose. Rosa, viola. Giallo, nero, blu, verde, other things, e poi arancione. In fact, if you look at the name of this, in inglese si dice orange, come la frutta, but in Italian there's a slightly different word that you can use for the word orange, like the colour, arancione, whereas the fruit is arancia. So keep that in mind. So we have blu, rosa, giallo, rosso, nero, verde, arancione e viola. Which other ones have we got that I haven't mentioned? Ah, sì! Questa carta è, well, if I were to say it correctly, it would be bianca. But the colour is bianco. Il bianco. So all the colours are actually masculine. So if you're talking about the colour red, il rosso. I like red. Mi piace il rosso. But when you start describing nouns like paper, la carta è bianca. La palla è, this one doesn't work because the word verde ends with an E. So in the singular, when you're talking about a noun that's something that's green, It doesn't matter whether it's a masculine or feminine noun. If there's one of them, it would be la palla verde. Don't worry too much about agreeing the colour with the noun, but let's just focus on the actual name of the colour. So verde, bianco, blu, rosso. What other ones were there? Ah, grigio. Grigio. Remember that one, like Pinot Grigio? Grigio. Grey. What other colours have we got? So on the sheet, the handout that I gave you, we have, abbiamo anche, azzurro. Azzurro. Let's have a look for something. Azzurro. Come questo. Questa penna. Azzurro. So this is a light blue. Whereas something like this, that colour there, piuttosto blu reale. So royal blue, dark blue basically. Okay, so there's some of the colours, and they're going to be useful for lots of different things, but the main thing was it's some basic vocabulary, and you'll see those things cropping up, and you'll have to pay attention to what you're describing, because the ending of the colour or the adjective you use to describe something might change. Don't worry too much about that. So I also gave you a little glossary which explained and gave examples of nouns like il ragazzo, la ragazza, the articles un and una, which we'll be looking at in a moment, some other examples, adjectives then, aggettivi come intelligente, pazzo, carino, triste, importante. There's so many. Felice, happy, alta, alto, etc. So keep those in mind. They'll be very useful when you want to make sentences. So this is the thing that I sort of forgot to do actually in class last week, but I think you'll find it quite easy now that we've gone over sort of other vocab that works in a similar way. So I'm going to show you some professions, okay? And these professions mostly link to the people that you saw in the quiz. 20 persone, so 20 people with a little l'immagine. The image is on the handout from week 2. So let's have a look. I can figure out some of these words. So questo è abbastanza facile. Quite simple. Un artista, an artist. Un artista. Un giornalista, journalist. Un comico, comedian. Un atleta, yeah, an athlete. So often where in English we might have a T and an H, like a th sound, you might just see a T in Italian, sort of cognate words, so words that look similar to the English that you can guess. Un atleta. Okay, so this one here. Who was I thinking of when I wrote this? See. Giselle Bunchten, I think that's the right way, or Bunchten, è una modella. She's a model. In fact, I've put the indefinite article here, which is one of the things that I introduced in the glossary, una, as opposed to, as opposed to un. So this means a or one, depending on what you're talking about. So, una modella, come Naomi Campbell. Now, it's worth bearing in mind here that when you tell someone what you do, or if you talk about the job that someone does, you don't actually need to say, he is a writer, I am a teacher. You can just say, I am teacher. That's kind of what you do, the way you do it with profession. So, io sono insegnante. Pierce Brosnan è attore. Attore, I think that's one of the words that was in your list of 20 questions. You can kind of guess it. So be aware of that. You don't necessarily need the indefinite article, but I put them here just to show you the gender of the noun itself. So we'll see more of this. Un cantante. Che cos'è un cantante? Someone who sings, a singer. This one's a bit more general. Un presentatore. A presenter, maybe a TV presenter or a radio presenter. Ah, una politica. Una politica. Una politica. So this is a politician, a female politician. We have una and politica. So somewhere here, hopefully it's right next door, no it's not, we would have un politico, which tells you it's a male politician. Okay, so here's un attore. So I put that last tore bit in bold because this is talking about a male actor. Un gives you a little hint there, and attore, that tore bit at the end, is something you'll see at the end of professions or words that describe a male who does a certain thing. So hopefully we've got sì, un attore, un'attrice, attrice. So that T-R-I-C-E, T-R-I-C-E at the end tells you that the actor, well, it's actually an actress. Okay, so we can say actor and actress, or we could just say actor and that can refer to ladies, but you know, don't be surprised if you hear this word in Italian, because that little suffix tells you that that word is the feminine version. But notice something, we have un attore and then we have un apostrofo attrice. So the apostrophe there, why is that there? They sound similar, un at. So it's because the A is sort of taken off there and replaced by an apostrophe, because the word following it begins with a vowel. Okay, we don't need to do that with un attore, because un, the word for a or one, is the masculine there, and una, the indefinite article that goes before a noun that's feminine, is shortened to un. Instead of saying una attrice, we just say un'attrice, and if it's written you'll see it with the apostrophe. Okay, so what was this one? Un politico. Yes, a male politician. Okay. Have a look at this one. Una, so that tells you that we're talking about a lady. Scrittrice, look at that, trice. If una scrittrice means a female writer, then what do you think the word for a male writer is? So think attore, attrice, scrittrice, scrittore. So then we've got tore at the end again. Okay. So, and we also have another one here, modello. So that's a male model. When you're talking about, say for example, you're telling someone who a famous person is and what they do. For example, let's think of a famous author. Okay, so A.A. Milne. Okay, so he did with Winnie the Pooh, it's a man. A.A. Milne è scrittore. See? Rudyard Kipling è scrittore. J.K. Rowling è scrittrice. Okay, so scrittore, scrittrice, and you don't need to say è una scrittrice. When you're explaining what someone's job is, you can simply say she is writer, he is writer. Okay, so that might be useful a little later down the line, but we'll look at other professions than the ones of famous people later on. In fact, you could probably come across them in the next couple of weeks, but don't worry too much about them for now. It's just more a case of becoming familiar with some vocab, doing some reading, and what I'm going to set you for homework. In fact, I've already sent you the email with a digital handout. I would like you to, so let me find what I gave you on the handout this week. So it's 2 pages, 2 pagine, e sulla pagina 2, sulla seconda pagina, excuse my little scribble over there, we have una lista di 20 domande, 20 questions, and these you spent some time looking at, reading and asking and answering questions earlier this week, so Bravi, that was very, very good. So, in this list of questions, you have, for example, you're trying to guess who a celebrity is that someone's thought of, and they're allowed to say sì, no, or non lo so in response. Yes, no, I'm not sure. So you have to ask quite specific questions, okay? Prima domanda, for example, è una donna? Is it a lady? So, let's have a look at another one. Numero 8, number 8. Parla italiano? Does he or she speak Italian? So let's have a look at another one. A slightly different verb here. Ha una barba? So you presumably ask this about a gentleman. Ha una barba? Does he have una barba? A beard. So you've had a look at these questions, and I would like you now, each of you, to think of a different celebrity. Okay? Actually, it's easier if it's a celebrity because we can discuss together and interact. But I want you each to write answers to these questions. So, for example, è una donna. So if you've chosen a man, say it's, I don't know, Andre Agassi, you could answer that question in two ways. You could say, non è una donna, it's not a woman. Or you could say, è un uomo, è un uomo. So let me show you how those would look. In fact, I think I've given you some examples in the email I sent. So simple answers I'd like. What you'll need to know for writing these answers is where the verb is in the sentence. So I've also highlighted the verb in the email with some example answers in the affirmative and negative. Yes, it is a man. No, it isn't a man. Yes, it is a woman. No, it isn't a woman. So here's an example. So the question, start with the question. È una donna? Is it a woman? So if you thought of a chap, in order to answer that question, you could say no, no, non è una donna. Non è una donna. So we have the verb, well, this bit means is, or is it, or is he, or is she. And we want to say it is not. So there's the word is, if you like, è, and we simply put non in front of it. Nice and simple to negate things in Italian. You can instantly double your vocabulary just by knowing where the verb is and then popping non in front of it. So that's quite easy. So you might also answer a question, well, you will answer a question using this verb. Ha I capelli. Che cos'è I capelli? Che cosa sono I capelli? Sì, I capelli, hair. So in Italian, the word for hair is actually a plural noun. I capelli, the hairs. And what you might be able to recognise by now is that this I, or the I, Italian I, at the beginning there means the plural something, masculine noun, and that is the ending for a masculine noun, little I at the end. So, ha I capelli. Okay, so in these questions, where you've got several possibilities, so this is 14, number 14, you can see it there. So I've given you some adjectives to describe hair. So you can choose what question it is you're asking of yourself and how you respond to it. So your question might be, ha I capelli corti? Ha I capelli corti? Does he or she have short hair? So if you've chosen that adjective short, which incidentally agrees with I capelli, it's plural, you might then answer it, no, non ha I capelli corti. So you could answer the question basically using the same vocabulary. All you need to do is pop non in front of the verb. Non ha I capelli corti. Or you could say he or she has long hair. Ha capelli lunghi. Io, per esempio, ho I capelli lunghi. I have long hair. In fact, today it's doing something weird where this is just getting in the way and sort of isn't going over there, so it's quite annoying. Ha I capelli lunghi. So when you see that written down, ha, that's part of the verb to have. He or she or it has long hair. So you don't need the pronoun, the personal pronoun he or she. You can put it in there if you'd like to clarify. For example, lui ha capelli lunghi. He has long hair. Or you could say she has, which is lei. Remember Princess Leia? Lei ha capelli lunghi. But it's very, very common, in fact it's more common than not, that you just use the verb. And the form of the verb tells you, and the context as well, who you're talking about. Okay, so that's part of your homework, please. Written answers, please. And then, if I've got a chance, and if you'd like me to, I'll take them with me. I'll take a photo, and I'll be able to mark them. In fact, if it works to plan, I can give you some activities to do, and I'll go through them and mark them and give you feedback in the class. Okay, so what's next? We are 21 minutes in, nearly 22. I think that takes me on to something that we'll be doing more or less every week, and that's using numbers. So I gave you 20 domande, 20 questions, and nella settimana 2 I gave you 20 immagini di persone famose. So 20 images of famous people, 20 pictures. So you'll have heard and you might remember that word 20. So at the bottom of, where is it? Dov'è? Where is it? Pagina una. Okay, page 1 of this week's handout. You have 0 a 20, 0 to 20. So you've got the spellings there, and you can probably, if you remember how to pronounce the alphabet, you can probably pronounce them pretty well just by reading them. Don't worry if you can't remember. What I'm going to do now is una cosa semplice, very simple thing that I like doing, and that's using questa palla verde, e conto. I'm going to count. Ok, contiamo insieme. Voi ripetete dopo me. Io comincio. I'll start now. Okay, so I'm going to go 1 to 5 to begin with. Okay, pronti? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In fact, if you like, you can guardate la lista allo stesso tempo, at the same time. Guardate la lista e ascoltatene. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Più veloce? Sì? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now we're going to go 1 to 10. Allora, ascoltate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. Maybe let's try counting backwards to see. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What was 0? 0. Nice and simple, that one. So now we're going to go from 11 to 20. So I'll go a bit slow. Un po' lenta. Lentamente, slowly. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now, if you can hear something that's making a noise, it's the rain, okay? È una notte brutta. It's a sort of a not very nice night out, basically, this evening, so don't worry if you can hear that. That's what it is. So, un po' più veloce, sì? A little bit quicker? Okay. Provate di ripetere. Try to repeat. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now what you'll notice if you look through these numbers is that you've got 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and they've all got this dici at the end. I'm not going to write them down now, but I will do that probably in next week's video. I'll probably do a little spelling test or a little practice for you of how they're written, how they're pronounced. When you get to 17, that dici bit, the sort of the 10 bit, swaps around. It goes to the beginning of the number. So instead of 15, which is 15, 16, which is 16, we have 17, 10, 7. Makes sense. Not sure why it changes. Probably just easier to say. Then we have 18, 18. So you've got to have a ch sound in there, 18, because we have a C and an I. Oh, scusa. Sì, C, I, and then an O. 18. It's a ch sound, like in ciao. Then we have 19, 10 and 9, 19. And then we get to 20. Okay, so do it one more time, and then I think we'll kind of wrap up, because the video is getting almost, it's getting near 30 minuti, so that's a number that we'll look at again, but it's nearly 30 minutes. So ancora una volta di più, one more time. Da 0 a 20, ok? 1, oh scusa, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 e 20 and 20. Allora, bravi! So, what you could do is you could listen back to the pronunciation. You could try listening to the pronunciation and reading it, or reading it then. You could even try recording yourself, actually. That's something I do quite a lot, is record little bits of different language and then send them out to my students so they can sort of mimic. You could get a ball or something that you can throw in the air and catch. Lanciate e prendete. And just make it a little harder for yourself. Give yourself something to sort of think about or to do whilst you're thinking in Italian. So that's a great way of training. Okay, so we looked at colours, we looked at some adjectives, some professions, but only really linked to like the celebrities, you know, like presenter, actor, writer, politician, etc. There are others, and we'll ask me if you have any that you want to check, or just go on wordreference.com and find them. Numbers 0 to 20, and then the homework, which links to the handout from page 2 of week 2. So I'd like you to write sentences, simple answers in the positive or negative, but about a new celebrity, not someone that you used in class. You can write down the name of the person if you like, and then we'll use that as a sort of brief discussion next week. If I've missed anything, just send me an email, give me a call, and ci vediamo lunedì, okay? We'll see each other on Monday. Buona settimana, grazie e arrivederci. Bye.